Big up, guys, big up. Apologies for the lateness yet again, but I'm here with yet another transfer stream to do with the bees, of course, and it's sort of an update in a way, and talk about, well, what turned out to be pretty much sort of a rumour in a way, or well, we did have contact with this guy, player, but that seems to be all it was. We didn't follow up with a bid or anything, but I will go into that actually. The first, straight off here, the first thing I'll talk about is this sort of like, well, I suppose if we actually did make contact, so we were obviously had an interest in buying this player. But I will go into the article. The other main one I'll be talking about is obviously Matteo Cancellieri is the main one, of course, because he's very close now to a transfer. It's very close to it being confirmed. So, well, allegedly. So I'll say that. Obviously, I'm just drinking a coffee as well, guys. But this first one I will talk about is Almugera Kabar on Borussia Dortmund, as you can see in that thumbnail behind me there in the background. That's the one we were allegedly linked with and made contact with, but didn't go any further with it. So I'll talk about him first, but then obviously it will be about Matteo Cancellieri, because it looks like that will be happening very imminently, apparently. But anyway, let's look at, got about 3 comments, so do those first. Hi Mel, Miss Melina, be up to you, hope you're well, hope you're good, my friend, hi. Yeah, and to you Jordan, hi as well, True Copyright Reds, be up to you, my friend, buddy, hope you're well. And to you Harry, all right buddy, hope you're good. Hey guys, hope we're all good. Yeah, man. Yeah. Sorry about apologies. But yeah. Yeah, we're all good, my friend. All great, buddy. So, but anyway, getting into this, and I will obviously talk about the Borussia Dortmund player first. Almugera Kabar, I believe that's his name. How you say it? I will talk about that one first, because obviously that's not happening. In fact, he's moving elsewhere. So that's obviously not going to happen now. So we didn't obviously follow this up in the end. Borussia Dortmund defensive prospect Almugera Kabar, only 19, set to transfer to Hamburg. So obviously not happening, not coming to the bees. So that was obviously something and nothing in a way in the end. Germany's Ruhr Nachrichten newspaper reports that Borussia Dortmund centre-back Almugera Kabar is on the verge of transferring to Hamburg. The 19-year-old has been linked with a move away from Borussia for quite some time. Even Premier League outfit Brentford, there we go, were reported to be interested in the young Bundesliga professional. Kabar currently maintains a €3 million estimated market value. Kabar is one of the players who served on Christian Rook's Germany under-17 World Cup winning team in November 2023. Since then, the left back has featured 5 times in the Bundesliga for the BVB first team. This year, Kabar has worked exclusively with the BVB reserves in the region Regionalliga. He has still turned in a highly successful autumn, scoring 4 goals and adding an assist in 10 appearances for BVB2. Is anything holding up Kabar's move to Hamburg? From the perspective of the player and his potential new Bundesliga club, nothing. RN reports that Hamburger SV head coach Merlin Polzin has convinced Kabar of the HSV project. The teenage talent shall receive a chance to compete with Miro Muheim for the starting left wing-back role. There are nevertheless some problems on the Dortmund front. RN claims that Dortmund do not wish to sell Kabar outright for a bargain basement price. A loan with a purchase option could be arranged, but there are other Bundesliga clubs who could offer more for Kabar. Interestingly enough, VfL Wolfsburg, despite their recently reported on problems with budgetary constraints, could actually outbid HSV in this one particular instance. The reporting from the Westphalian newspaper nevertheless directly suggests that Kabar prefers the Hamburg move. So, I mean, it looks like we were interested in that. There was allegedly a talk. We had made contact, but obviously nothing more than that. So this one's dead in the water. He's going elsewhere. So it's just not happening, guys, with this one. Let's see. Yeah, so it's pretty much what it's saying. At one stage, this was actually last year, it said we had opened talks to sign highly rated Borussia Dortmund left back Almugera Kabar in a deal worth a reported 20 million euros, which a fair amount actually for us. But yeah, it's not happening. So obviously, if we got that to another left back, he would may have been back up for Henry, or could even be a replacement. If I don't know how long. I'm hoping Rico Henry will be still with us for the foreseeable future. I'm hoping he'll stay. But then again, we might be wanting a younger left back, because I know he's got to be. I think he's late 20s, early 30s, Rico Henry. So we may be needing a younger one. But actually, let's just see how old he is, Rico Henry. I can't really remember now. He could be younger than that. Let's see, because I can't really. He's 20. I was fairly nearly right. He's late 20s, 28. Rico Henry. So obviously, I think he's still good. I rate him. Of course, he's still brilliant, Rico Henry, but he's not getting any younger. So obviously, coming up to not far away from his 30s, and but of course, he has had injuries as well. So I think this guy probably would have been a good replacement if it happened. Only 19, of course, so was plenty of scope and plenty of time for him to adapt and develop. But obviously, it's not happening because he's gone to, he's going to Hamburg. But there is this other one, which is the main one I want to talk about on there again, which is looking like it is going to happen. And that's for this guy. Brentford are now closing in on a £15.6 million deal for Lazio and Italy attacker Matteo Cancellieri. Although it's saying it's 18 million euros. It looks like this will happen. It looks like it happened, but we don't know exactly when. We know it's not too far away, but we'll wait and see. Because if we can get him in already and get him in by Saturday, we can get him playing on Saturday as well, along with our other new player, K. Furo. You know, get him involved already and get him integrated into the team. You know, so we will see, guys. I mean, this is brilliant, to be honest. We're going after 2 or 3 players, and we might not be finished just yet either. So this is pretty interesting for the Bees at the moment, what we're doing in the transfer window. And it's, you know, it's getting us reinforced, I think, now for the push towards, obviously, Europe, and maybe in the FA Cup, possibly as well. You know, to fight on both fronts, the Premier and the FA Cup. To go as far as we can in the FA Cup, I think that'd be great. But anyway, so yeah, I think this deal could happen fairly soon. It looks like if he's already has agreed personal terms, which I believe has happened. Not totally confirmed yet, but if he has agreed terms, well, that means we're not far off, really. And he's definitely going to come. He's definitely going to join us. So, yeah, as I'd already mentioned, I think about this the other day. Cancellieri reportedly agrees terms with Brentford. There we go. So there is sort of conflicting reports, articles. Also on here on Reddit, which is generally pretty good for this sort of thing. It says on here, Matteo Cancellieri close to joining Brentford for 18 million euros. So, yeah, it looks to me like it's happening, but exactly when, I'm not sure. I'll go for a few comments here. Have we got any newer ones? Let's see if there's any new. No, these are all one day ago. Yeah, always fun to see what a player I only know because I signed them in Football Manager is doing in real life. That's by Bamboozle. Italian teams on not growing young Italians is tragic. Italian teams not growing young Italians is tragic. Gianni with that one. Juicy like hot sauce. Great name. Brentford are signing Chiodi and Cancellieri. We'll do it for you. Basically, yeah, Gianni, yeah. Why are Lazio overhauling their squad mid-season? Surely they can't get the cohesion to end the season better than they could now. That's from Oh My Days Broski. Another one here, QMZX. I feel like they might think they would never reach Europa League spot because the competition is pretty strong up there. Roma, Como, and Atalanta are better teams than them. and Bologna is a little bit stronger, but their coach is able to overperform his players. Keep in mind that they faced a transfer ban in the summer, so they weren't able to improve a team that already failed to qualify to any UEFA tournament. And by the way, Conference League is not an option for them. So I guess that changing many players now can give them more time to prepare the next season. This is Connect Anything 286. The players being sold were all underperforming, and it made sense financially. Tito doesn't inject his own money, so Lazio are permanently hassled by the liquidity rules in way teams like Roma and Fiorentina aren't. And this is Guram again, Guram ZX. Yeah, I think they did the right choice. Maybe Guendouzi was a tough one, but if you have to do player trading in order to find money to start a new cycle, then go with it. At this stage, choosing the right players is crucial. Taylor is a solid signing, in my opinion, but he needs some time. Same for Ratkov, who's going to need a lot of time to be a Serie A striker. Pedraza would be a very wise signing. Connect Anything 286. I won't miss Guendouzi. Zero creativity. Doesn't score enough and unprofessional. His performances dipped this year, and he missed 3 games in half a season with suspension. The money has to be reinvested wisely, though. Ratkov was signed for the same reason Red Bull signed him, and Brentford want Cancellieri. So there we go. Elite physical traits. You can't teach height and speed. Ratkov was the second fastest sprint recorded in the Verona game, behind Lazzari. We are absolutely not going to get Rayan. Not sure what Brentford sees in Cancellieri to spend up to 18 million euros. Well, poor Sarri is asking for suitable replacements, especially the hole in midfield, and we've been stalling for a tremendous amount of time since we signed Taylor. That's from the soccer guy 124. So it sounds like, well, why are we spending that? Well, he obviously doesn't rate the guy, but you never know. If we've looked at him and scouted him this amount of times, and we always seem to can see a good player. And again, I always trust now Phil Giles mainly to get this done right. And we obviously want this Cancellieri. He's a very good player. He must be for us to want to get him and feel that we can do something with him, you know. So I don't know. We'll see though. I mean, it is close to happening as far as I know. The Rupture says, obviously a Bees fan here, by the looks of it. Statistically, he's very similar to our starting wingers in Sharda and Ratara. Physically dominant and shoot first. Spencer Mossman on Twitter has a great post about it. The soccer guy at 124, realistically, he's one of our best wingers, which is a very short list and not aspiring. I think he has characteristics he needs to improve on, such as awareness in the final third. Last match against Verona, Ratkov gave him a beautiful pass on a counter-attacking opportunity, and instead of doing a simple 1-2 exchange of the ball, he tries to beat his man and gets pocketed by Bella Kotchap when he had an open man. Oh well. We are going to demand big money to sell Rayan, especially after how good he was last year. I just hope that he goes to a team that helps his development. He has a huge potential. He'd be an immediate starter with us, but you could say the same with Bournemouth instead as well. I don't think we even had the money to get him. Latest reports from some Brazilian sources mention 25 million and more plus 50% resale. That definitely is not close to enough. I think Bournemouth in the end will get him. So I suppose they're on about probably Rayan. I hope they're not on about this guy we were after. Matteo Cancellieri. I hope they're not after him. The numbers quoted for Timber are entirely reasonable. We should stop being cheap and pay them. More Italians to the PL, to Premier League. How is Chiodi doing at Brentford? Well, great. He's doing brilliant. Fantastic. Fan favourite from day one. Exactly. Up there as maybe the most popular player we've had after their first 12 months in a long time. Wonderful player. Yep. He's doing very well. Started every game for them this season. Established himself now in a high-performing side at age only 21. His long throws are incredible, exactly. Sure are. So good that I was suggesting to sign him this January. Laugh out loud. I think that's an Arsenal fan. Yeah. Just a yellow card magnet in the last 2 months. I reckon he'll be playing for Arsenal at some point. Mikel Arteta cannot ignore a throw-in like that. Fuck off, Arsenal. We ain't sending against Arsenal. Fuck them. No way. We already sold them fucking Norgard, and he hardly plays. Just as well stayed here. No, you can't have him. Should sign him in the summer, honestly, to give Brentford a quick profit. Yeah, we don't want it from you. Fuck off. Otherwise, his value is only going to go up. He's still super young. Yeah, but no. Why should we sell to you again? Get lost. You can do one, pal. We've got him on contract for another 5 years. Yeah. So if and when we decide to sell, it certainly won't be cheap. No, good. I'm glad to hear. Our finances are in great shape, so there's no desperation to balance the books with a quick profit. So there you go. Suck on that. Fucking Arsenal fan. Piss off. Right. No, 100% I get that. I'm not saying it'd be out of desperation. Quite the contrary. The club is in a great shape. Exactly. And we are 5th, by the way. It's more like I think he could go for 30 to 35 million now, but we'd be talking about 40 to 50 plus in a few years. More than that, I'd say actually, probably more like 70, 80, probably. From Brentford's perspective, that'd be super easy, 20 million in 1 year. Absolutely insane to think that we would flip one of the best RBs in the league for 30 mil. Yeah, with him under contract for 5 more seasons, 20-30 plus 1 year club option. So I think you should just shut your mouth. This is Arsenal fan Jay Nater. You know shit. You know nothing. So get lost. Why are we going to do that? Do you think we're dumb or something? Piss off. You bought him for 17 million 5 months ago. Allow me to doubt his price. His price goes 4 by in these months. Will he be worth 50 plus in 1 to 2 more seasons? Yes. That being said, now that I'm checking, Cucurella was flipped for 63 million in 1 year. Laugh out loud. Forget what price we paid for him. It's irrelevant. We have our RB spot locked down for the next 5 years. Exactly. You tell him. We will apply the level of quality that we need to help us push up the table and attempt to qualify for European places. It's hard to put a dollar value on that. We have no need to sell him. Exactly. We have no desire to sell him. We are sitting on a ton of cash between our sales last window and new investors in the club. Suck on it. Exactly. Suck on it. 30 mil. Yeah, try doubting that. Or try doubling that. Sorry. Brentford would want 60 million plus. Exactly. Well, I'm saying 70 to 80. Maybe even 90. Doubt that for now. Yeah, that's fair enough. That's fair. Although I reckon we'd want more after you got Raya for such a bargain. Yeah, exactly. You did. We had some great years out of him and turned a healthy profit. But he's just so darn good. Love Kelleher though too. So no hard feelings. You could give Norgard a bit more game time though. Bless him. Exactly. Good for him. At Fiorentina, he was always going to be a sub for Dodo. Dodo. What a name. Which is absurd, as he might just be the best RB in the league. Real Madrid are reportedly interested in him. Well, we try and get a load of money off them then. Yeah. So, anyway, for me, he's going to stay. But is there anything more about Cancellieri? Was there anything? I don't. I'm really not sure Lazio has the facilities to get a guy like Rayan. Laughing my ass off. But I'd love to see him developing with Sarri. And he's a clear upgrade on Cancellieri too. Well, so they really don't seem to rate him. But we must see something. The fact we want to buy him. He's just starting to find some here he is. After another horrible move by another horribly short-sighted Italian player. He's just starting to find some consistency and form for the first time in his entire career. He has one of the best managers in the world, which plays attacking football and actually develops his players. He's part of a very small squad where he can actually become a key player, and he's on a much bigger team in a much bigger team than Brentford. Oh well, yeah, but we are fifth in the Premier, by the way. Would be a dumb move on almost all accounts except the pay bump. It's your opinion. Who's this yellow cat? For Lazio, however, 80 million euros or 80 million for Cancellieri is a steal, in my opinion. Too many injuries and too inconsistent. Well, we could change all that at the Bees. We could change that. Right. I'll only do one or two more comments and then I'm moving on. I'm actually going to talk about players going out. Well, at least one or two at least are leaving us. One or two on loan, of course. So I'll go to that in a minute. This is Yoga Fire Flame. Weird take. The Premier League is highly desirable and is generally accepted as the best and most competitive league in the world right now. Brentford are not huge payers, but are in the ascendancy and are very good at coaching and growing players. Exactly, I agree totally. We are. The last player we signed from Italy was Chiodi, an Italian, who's enjoying life in London, excelling on the field and getting attention from Real Madrid and Man City. Prior to that, we signed Damsgaard from Sampdoria, and he's absolutely incredible and settled. Christian Eriksen had a huge part to play at Brentford. Came from Inter and went on to Man United. Aaron Hickey joined us from Bologna, and he's a top player and enjoying life at Brentford. Opta recently put us at 16th in world football power ranking. Do you see my point? None of what you just said has anything to do with why Cancellieri moves Brentford would probably be a bad move for Cancellieri. Well, it's not what he just said. But it's trying to be a good thing. It's a good thing what he's done, where he's going. I mean, at some stage he can always move on to another team. He doesn't have to stay with us. But you know, he might just enjoy it. Okay, we're not big players. We're not huge players. We don't give players big money. Exactly. Probably one of our highest earners was Tony when he was here. But yeah, so but what does that matter? Here's a question: Have you ever even watched him play? No, I haven't. So, but if we're after him, he can't be that bad. Let's put it that way. Yoga Fire Flame comes back with, I don't think it would be a bad move. If our excellent scouts think he's the right fit for the direction we're heading, then I 100% trust them, and I do as well on that. And they're nearly always right. The players I mentioned are evidence of how successful we are introducing, welcoming, and growing players from Italy specifically. Not all of them were world class when we bought them, but are all absolutely fantastic now or when they were here. We often take calculated risks on players who are rough diamonds. Bremo and Visser, exactly. And not fully fit. Damsgaard and Eriksen, exactly. And we gave them time to recover and improve. The answer to answer your question, no, I have not seen. I have seen much of Cancellieri play aside from the usual YouTube videos. But I'm not a scout, and I'm not concerned with that. Majority of the players we buy are relative unheards, and that's part of our success. With all of this in mind, why do you think it's a bad move for Cancellieri? So Yellow Cat again replies, yes, I'll explain why it would be a bad move for Cancellieri. I'm only just going to do this now and then move on. I'll explain. Yes, I'll explain why it would be a bad move for Cancellieri, even though it'll just be repeating myself. I'll just be repeating myself. He's only he's only just finding consistency, if you want to call it that, for the first time in his career at 23. But that's actually good for us then. Somebody who can hit the ground running when he comes into the Premier. So sorry, I'm going to argue with that, disagree. He's literally never played more than one season in a row at the same club, consistently being loaned around. Never played more than 20 games in a season, though that might change if he stays at Lazio, proving my point. Well, he'll play more than that at Brentford, actually, as well. And has never scored more than 4 goals in a season. Again, that could change. He can get more goals for us. The game might change if he stays at Lazio. Yeah, right. So what are you trying to say? Oh, yeah, you won't do that at Brentford. Okay. He has found a coach that wants to use him and he's getting the most out of him. How do you know Andrews won't do that? Sorry. Why? How do you know that? With a record of developing attacking players, so Andrews will do that. Keith Andrews is doing great, but Sarri is proven on another level. Well, okay. I see your points there. I get them. I don't necessarily agree, but I get them. Lazio is a very small squad right now because they were banned from the transfer market last year. This means even if Cancellieri is in bad form, he'll get opportunities to play. Probably not the case at Brentford. Well, we do play. When we get new players in, we do play them a lot. Look at Watara, we played him a lot. Look at Coyote, he's always playing. Who else did we sign recently? He's playing. Well, of course, Thiago now, always playing. Apart from the FA Cup, where we rested him. Charter even, I mean, you know, if you talk about actually really brand new players, we got Watara is one of them, and he always plays. He's only not playing because he was at the AFCON. So, again, you're wrong. I'm sorry, you're wrong. And regardless of what happens in the short term, Lazio is a big club in Italy. Almost always finds a way to make the European spots. And you're saying we can't? Come on. Maybe he's coming into a very good project here at the Bees, you know? You don't realise that. Even now banned from the transfer market last summer with a decimated squad, Lazio is still only 3 points from seventh place. And we're fifth, by the way, though. Largely due to how good a manager Sarri is. While Brentford is on the ascendancy, there's much more competition from other bigger clubs in England. Here we go. I knew that would come up. Whereas Lazio is already one of those bigger clubs in Italy. All in all, a player like that needs to stay put, in my opinion. And he's already fallen upwards to Lazio. And as a side note, the players you mentioned, Coyote is the only one whose first experience abroad was the Premier League, was in the Premier League. You can hardly compare an experienced veteran like Ericsson, who basically played his entire career in England, before a very short and unsuccessful stint in Italy, with someone like Cancellieri, who is 23 and has never played abroad. Damsgaard and Hickey, for example, had multiple seasons in Serie A to develop abroad before they moved to England. Right, so somebody called amusing hippo. That guy's point wasn't Brentford is not good enough. It was Cancellieri was atrocious anywhere he played in. Played in the last 3 seasons, except those 6 months at Lazio where he was fine. Taking the leap to a Premier League side and an ambitious club as well could very well be Cancellieri's Icarus moment. Right. So Yoga Fire Flame, I'll just do this definitely, and then I'll just read this and then move on. I agree with your latter point, but I'm not sure about the first. He literally stated it would be a dumb move on almost all accounts aside from money. Yeah, I agree. I see it as quite the opposite. Money's not going to be incredible at Brentford, but everything else will be amazing. There you go. I totally agree. Sorry. I know I sound biased, but I am. I'm a Bees fan. And to me, I agree. Yeah, he won't be paid a massive amount, but he gets to play in the Premier, and he'll get more minutes with us than he will at another bigger club. He'll play a lot more with us, and we will develop him as well. Keith Andrews will develop him. So I think a load of that, most of what he was saying there is crap. And he's biased as well. If he's a Lazio fan, well, at the end of the day, he will say that. But I think, why not come here? And, we're fifth right now in the Premier. Okay, we might not finish there, but we are fifth right now. So we are in the ascendancy, let's be honest. And I just I don't understand that. I don't get and agree with some of that, a lot of that guy was saying. Sorry. But, um, anyway, I'm going to move on, guys. I'm going to do this bit now. The players leaving. I'll do that, and then move on, and then bounce probably. Um, right. So let's go to. Yeah, we'll do this first. This one. Hold on a minute, guys. It's just coming. Uh, yep. Yep. Here we go. And yeah, actually, can you hold on a minute, guys? I just need to have a comfort break. I'll be back very soon. Apologies, I really need the toilet. I'll be back soon, guys. Cheers. Apologies, guys. Sorry about that. I just had a bit of a comfort break and had to do one or two other things quickly as well. So I'm just mainly gonna talk about the outgoings now for the Bees, and then I'm gonna bounce. And this is obviously one of them. Only on loan, Konak is going to Oxford United on a loan switch, and to be honest, I think it's a good thing for him. He'll get more minutes. He's hardly played for us much since he's been here. You know, let's get him playing some match time, some match games, minutes, sharpness, and get him playing. For one reason or another, he's not played a lot for us. So I don't know why. So this could be a good move for him. He's only going on loan as well. Yes, so Yunus Emery Konak to spend remainder of 25-26 campaign with Sky Bet Championship club Oxford United. The 20-year-old midfielder has made 14 appearances for the Bees, but not played that much really. Not many minutes for the Bees since signing from Sivasspor in January 2024. The 20-year-old midfielder has made 14 appearances for the Bees since signing from Sivasspor in January 2024. Konak made his professional debut in August 2023 when he started in defensive midfield during Sivasspor's 1-1 draw with Samsunspor. Over the 4 months that followed, at the tender age of 17, Konak started every one of the next 16 league games, as well as continuing to play at international level for both Turkey under 18s and under 21s. One day after his 18th birthday in January 2024, Konak signed a 5.5-year contract at Brentford with a club option to extend the deal by a further 12 months. Injury prevented him from making his first team debut during his first 6 months at the club. Though he was included in the matchday squad for the visit of Newcastle United on the final day of the 23-24 season. The centre midfielder went on to make his Premier League debut as a late substitute at Tottenham Hotspur in a 3-1 defeat in September 2024. So I'm happy for him though. I'm really happy for the guy. This young man, it gives him a chance, a bit of match time. You know, a bit more play, more than he's getting here. So that's good. Really happy for him. Right, let's move on to I'll just do this other sort of interesting news. It could be another player heading out, possibly. It's involving Frank Onyeka, of course, at the AFCON at the moment with Nigeria. So I'll just bring that up now. So I'll just talk about this now. And just want to get rid of these adverts. Right. Birmingham City face Coventry City transfer battle for 40k a week Brentford ace, which is obviously Frank Onyeka, currently playing for Nigeria in the AFCON. Birmingham City are reportedly facing a transfer battle for West Midlands rivals and Championship leaders Coventry City for Brentford midfielder Frank Onyeka. That is according to the Daily Mail, which surfaced just hours after the powerful Bees midfielder was part of the Nigeria squad, which suffered heartbreak at the hands of African Cup of Nations host Morocco. For a penalty shootout exit on Wednesday night. Onyeka shared his international experience with the likes of Birmingham summer signing Bright Asayi Samuel, who will be returning to action at St Andrews at Knighthead Park after the upcoming third and fourth place playoff clash against fellow semi-final losers Egypt on Saturday afternoon. It has been widely reported that Chris Davis is looking to somewhat reshape his squad ahead of Blues' final 20 league matches of the season, as they are currently in the thick of a congested and competitive fight to reach the playoffs come the end of the campaign after an inconsistent opening period following their record-breaking season in League One. One of the areas which has been targeted for change is Davis' midfield department, which currently boasts the likes of Pike Sung Ho, Tomoko Iwata, albeit he has featured heavily at right back, Wolverhampton Wanderers loanee Tommy Doyle and Mark Leonard. However, whilst the latter continues to be a subject of exit talk in this part of the second city, it was claimed last month that Birmingham were in the market for a powerful midfielder to become part of their 25-man squad. Reports earlier in the week suggested that Davis had found that man in the former Girona FC's 21-year-old Colombian midfielder John Solis, with Blues believed to have fended off competition from Liga MX side Tigre Unal by securing an initial loan deal which could be turned permanent on an optional or mandatory basis for approximately 6.9 million. However, whilst the deal for Solis is yet to be confirmed, it has been emerged that they now face a fight from Frank Lampard's Sky Blues to secure Onyeka's signature. Almost 5 years after he moved to the then newly promoted Brentford from Danish Superliga side SC Michelin. Yeah, so Birmingham City face Coventry City transfer battle for Brentford's Frank Onyeka. As previously mentioned, Onyeka was one of the West London club's first signings after they secured the first promotion to the Premier League from the Championship under Thomas Frank. The midfielder has also been capped 41 times by the Super Eagles, with the vast majority of those appearances coming throughout his spell at the GTEC Community Stadium since making his international debut in October 2020. Onyeka was initially a linchpin in midfield under Frank as the Bees defied the odds and over time became an established side in the Premier League, largely down to the success enjoyed through their Moneyball recruitment strategy under Matthew Benham's ownership. In total, the 28-year-old has made 87 appearances for Brentford since his switch in July 2021, scoring just the once and providing a further 6 assists. Only 9 of those outgoings have come in the opening months of Keith Andrews' tenure, though, as he has also often been used as a substitute option or failed to make it off the bench in several outings under the former Republic of Ireland international. Such fortunes have been down to the high-profile summer signing or summer arrival of England international and one-time Premier League winner Jordan Henderson, whilst he has also spent the past 4 weeks concentrating on AFCON, which comes to an end this weekend. The man who spent last season on loan with Augsburg started in 4 of the Super Eagles AFCON outings, including the semi-final, and could now be the subject of a permanent exit from Brentford, with Birmingham and Coventry reportedly plotting moves for his services. As well as Blues' own midfield pursuits, Coventry have also identified targets in this area, such as Sunderland outcast Dan Neil. However, as exclusively revealed by a Football League World, they face a fight from Sheffield United on that particular front. Birmingham City or Coventry City would have to pay Frank Onyeka a sizable wage sum. According to estimated figures from Capology, the combative midfielder collects a base wage of 40,000. This is a lot, since they don't play for us much, per week at the GTEC, which is equal to the wage reportedly earned by Blues' £10 million summer signing Kyogo Furuhashi. Whilst the Nigerian would immediately top the Sky Blues charts ahead of Luke Wolfenden, Matt Grimes, Ellis Sims, and Haji Wright, who are all said to be earning 25,000 per week. So there we go. Whatever happens, they want to be paid a lot of money. We want to be paid a lot, and I think we want a lot of money for him as well, to be honest. So, yeah, I think I don't think he's that great. He's been here a long while, so 5 years. The odd occasion he's been great. He's done something, but I'm not so sure now. I think he probably should go, and we'd be happy to let him go, I think. But anyway, I've got a few more comments now, so I'll go through those. RD Unite, big up Rich, big up Mr. B and chat, big up to you, my friend. Hope you're good. See him again. And Oris, bloody hell, he's somehow resurfaced. He's come out from hiding about, you must be a wreck, mate, about United. You must be fucking, I don't know, crying somewhere. Big up, Mr. B. Yeah, big up to you, my friend. So you were in a bit of shit, eh? Whereas we're fifth in the Premier, by the way, in the ascendancy, and got Chelsea next. So be good if we can turn them over at the bridge, eh? That'd be amazing. Yeah, Carrick's at the wheel. Yeah, for how long? Will he just be, next manager, the temporary manager, and then you'll bring in? Will you actually bring in a proper name, a big name, or what? Will that happen? Be up to you, Iron Titanium. Hope you're well, buddy. Hope you're good. Hi, Mr. B. Yep. Hi to you. Rich again, thoughts on that? Oris Talks Football. 39.25. Right, so let's see. Evening at Iron Titanium for 42.30. Hi, Rich. Yeah. Interim. Yeah. Well, that's what he is, isn't he? He's interim. He's not permanent, Carrick. Unless you're saying that's what you're saying you want, interim manager. But I think you should be getting a really top name, big name. And and what you're doing, pissing about and not doing that, getting a big name in. Amorim obviously didn't work out. We all could see that. But, there are other big managers out there. There are some that aren't in jobs. So, you never know. You should try and go for another. You should try and get another big manager, surely. I don't know why you're not. But anyway, regarding this again, the Bees, this Cancellieri move could be very, very soon now. I think it may be possibly tomorrow. It may get done, and obviously I'll be doing another stream tomorrow, hopefully, if it happens as well. On Titanium, we have terrible owners that they don't back managers. Yeah. Yeah, actually, Amorim was actually trying to turn it around a bit. He almost did a bit, and I think he was playing a bit better. But you know, it was strange, really, strange timing. But maybe you can say he did have to go. He wasn't good enough. He was stubborn. He was doing the same tactics and so forth, and it wasn't working exactly. But you could have, well, I know you just can't keep sacking managers, though. That's the thing, isn't it? You can't. You know, it's just not good enough. It doesn't work out. Keep sacking managers all the time, replacing them. Yeah, worst owners in the league. Yeah, I think you're right there, Rich. They sure are. They're terrible. In the world, yeah. So who would you guys want? Who would you bring in? You know, because obviously Carrick ain't going to stay there. He's only going to be there temporarily. He's going to be there. So who would you actually bring in? You United fans, because they're pretty much all are in here now is United fans. So who would you bring in? Yeah. So that's all I've got in here now is United fans, pretty much. So who would you actually bring in permanently? By the way, follow me on Insta, Mr. B for Life 182, and sub to Mr. B Hive Football Chat. Smash those likes up and keep subbing. If you're new, guys, please, many thanks. I'm on 206 now, 206 subs. Get that going up further. Get me to 250. That'd be great, guys. Please do that. Yeah, I'm Titanium. I'm not bothered about managers anymore. We won't get anywhere with our owners. No, probably not. But you still got to have a manager, one way or another. So, and if Carrot won't get it full time, you're going to need somebody else. So you just well get a top manager in, surely. And how about any other transfers you on the horizon? I'd hire Kermit. He'd probably do a good job, mate. Probably. Yeah. He's a little bit green around the gills as a manager. Um, he might have Miss Piggy as his assistant, probably. Yeah, but I don't know. It's you sure you must have an idea of what sort of manager you want? Surely, because apparently you're still a big club, allegedly. So really, you should be drawing in the big managers, big players, big managers, whatever. Full time or interim, Bilal. Oh, I'm not sure I know him. No, not really. But take it, he's a good manager. Is that all a player you after? Is that a player on loan? You Bilal. Okay, your name's Bilal. Okay. Well, I only know you as I am Titanium, don't I? So I didn't know if that was your name. But anyway, yeah. Yeah, so I don't think there was any football on tonight, was there? Don't think so. Let's have a look. Let's go on here. See if there was anything. I don't think there was. It's been women's one, women's FA Cup. That was on West Brom, New Everton 2 in that women's one, fourth round. Spanish Copa del Rey as well. Barcelona playing at the moment, playing Racing de Santander. German Bundesliga, Italian Serie A. Bologna beat Hellas Verona 3-2. Como beating AC Milan 1-0 at the moment. So would everyone say it's a shock? I would say it probably is, but don't know that much about Como. Yeah, so that's all the football that's on. Tomorrow there's Championship, West Brom versus Middlesbrough at 8 o'clock. Women's FA Cup again, fourth round, Newcastle United versus West Ham. Scottish Cup, Rangers versus Annan Athletic. Spanish La Liga, Espanyol versus Girona. German Bundesliga, Werder Bremen versus Eintracht Frankfurt. Italian Serie A, Pisa versus Atalanta. Australian A-League, Belgian Jupiler Pro League, French Liga. Portuguese, there's actually a few, but obviously not any English other than the Championship or Women's and so forth. Yeah, all the main ones are Saturday, of course. The big Premier games. About the Manchester Derby, and might just do a few, possibly do a few predictions if anyone's still in the live chat. Do predictions for the Premier games. Hold on. I am Titanium. Make sure Cancellieri doesn't get cancelled. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, very good, mate. Good joke. But anyway, yeah, so if anyone does want to do predictions, right, let's bring this up. Right. Manchester Derby, Man United, Man City. What's everyone going for that? Oh, it's 2-1 United. Another comment. Carrick to get his win on Saturday. Possibly. We will lose 6-0. Yeah, I can't see you beating City. Come on, mate. No way. No way. City are in incredible form at the moment. Let's have a look. And yeah, so Man City second and United 7th. Right, look at these games comparison. Although not that much difference. I mean, City have obviously won a couple, but drawn 3. These are the last 5 games, of course. Man United have won 1 and drawn 3 and lost 1. So City are on, well, maybe better form. slightly. I think they should win, City myself. I think they're going to win. I really do. Carrick's at the wheel. Yeah. I'm going to go. I'm going to go 3-1 City here. I just think United can be pretty poor, and their defence ain't great. I'm going 3-1 City. I don't think Carrick can make much difference now. I just think City are in too great a form at the moment. And they just won. They spanked Exeter. Yeah, it's only Exeter, but they spanked them 10-1. So, yeah, I'm going 3-1 City. Right, next one. Well, our game, Chelsea Bees, at Stamford Bridge. Well, looky here. We're 5th, and Chelsea are 8th. Oh. There we go. And let's look at our form. So obviously, last 5 games, we've won 4 and drawn 1. So again, we're in better form, doing better than Chelsea. Chelsea have lost 2, drawn 2, and won 1. That win at Charlton Pathetic, 5-1. Anyone could do that, couldn't they? Win by that many there. Of course, lost to Fulham 2-1 and Villa 2-1. There's a lot to be confident about for us, let's be honest. Our wins, look at that. Thrash Bournemouth 4-1 and Everton 4-2. Sunderland, who'd have thought they'd be a pushover? We beat them 3-0. And of course, Sheffield Wednesday we beat 2-0. So the 0-0 with Spurs, but other than that, we scored a few, and we are 5th. I'm really confident about this one now. I really am. And looking at Chelsea against Arsenal in the Carabao Cup, I wasn't that impressed. I'm not so sure about this Rossini guy. I really think we should beat them. The only thing that stops us is being Brentford and thinking, well, we've done our job. We've done our, what we should be doing. We've got to 5th in the table. That's good enough. And we might just go backwards, regress. But I hope not. Because we've done all the good work. Let's keep it going. We signed a new player. We got Kaya Fiore. We may be adding another, Cancellieri, very soon. Let's keep this good run going. We haven't lost for the last 5 games, or even more than that, maybe 6. So, I think we should carry this on. I'm fairly confident. I'm even thinking like a 3-1, the Bees. I really am. 3-1. But as I say, we can shoot ourselves in the foot. That's the problem with the Bees. We can do well, and then we come unstuck against teams that we shouldn't be unstuck against. I think Chelsea are not special, well, with this manager anyway, either. So they have got some good players and some great players, really, most of them. But I think we are in better form than them. Let's be honest. I'm going 3-1 the Bees. I'm going 3-1. If I get it wrong, I've got it wrong. But as I say, the only ones that can enemy to Brentford is Brentford themselves. We could fuck this up big time. If we fuck it up, we'll probably lose, say, I don't know, 2 or 3-0 or 3-1. But if we go the way we're going, on great form, I think 3-1 at least to the Bees. Because we will concede. I can't see us not conceding against Chelsea. But I think we've got good enough defence as well to keep them out. So we get 3 and only concede 1. I think that's good. But we have to be at our actual best, our real 100% top, top of our form. And I hope we are. I think we will beat them if we do that. If we're as good as we have been lately, I can't see why not. So I'm going 3-1 Bees. That's providing we don't go stupid and don't go dumb again and go backwards or take all these steps forward and then go backwards. So I hope so, guys. Come on. But if anyone wants to put a prediction for that, go ahead. Leeds Fulham. Let's go to that one. Leeds were amazing at one stage. They haven't lost at all. Fulham actually on the ascendancy as well. You see, last 5 games, Leeds have only lost once. That was to Newcastle, out of the game, 4-3. A big derby, of course, in the FA Cup last game. Drew with United 1-1, drew with Liverpool 0-0, and Sunderland 1-1. Also drew with us, of course. That was 1-1. Fulham. 3 wins and 2 draws. Beat West Ham, but who hasn't? Beat them 1-0. Drew Palace 1-1. Drew Liverpool 2-2. Beat Chelsea 2-1. And beat Middlesbrough 3-1 in the FA Cup. So Fulham probably in a bit better form than Leeds. I'm going to go... Oh, right, so Oris 3-1 Brentford. Yeah. You agree with me then, man? Agree with me there, bro? 3-1. Yeah, cool. So I'm going here. I'm going 2-1 Fulham. I'm going here. 2-1 Fulham. Liverpool Burnley. Obviously Burnley 19th, still struggling down there. Liverpool 4th. Sort of turned it around a bit, Liverpool lately. See Liverpool have won 2 and drawn 3. Beat Wolves 2-1, drew Leeds 0-0, drew Fulham 2-2, and then Arsenal 0-0, and then beat Barnsley 4-1 in the FA Cup. Burnley drawn 2, lost 2, and 1-1. So drew with Everton 0-0, beat Newcastle lost to Newcastle 3-1, lost to Brighton 2-0, drew United 2-2, and then beat Millwall 5-1. Really, the better form is Liverpool, and you would think they should beat Burnley. I can't see any other sort of result. And at Anfield, I'm going to go 4-1. No, 4-0. 4-0 Liverpool against Burnley. 4-0. That's what I'm going for here. Right. Sunderland Palace. Well, Palace 13th, dropping a lot. Sunderland 10th. Not far away from each other, both almost the same in a way, although Palace have lost 3. in bad form at the moment. Sunderland only lost one, and that was to us, of course, the Bees, 3-0. So they've drawn all the rest of them. Drew Leeds 1-1, drew City 0-0, drew Spurs 1-1, then lost to us, of course, 3-0, and drew Everton 1-1 in the FA Cup. Went through on penalties, of course, 3-0. It's Palace. Of course, they lost to Spurs 1-0. Drew Fulham 1-0. Lost to Newcastle 2-0. Drew Villa 0-0. And of course, lost to Macclesfield, the actual total shock 2-1. And of course, we now face Macclesfield, of course, in the FA Cup. So, not easy. I'm going to go for this one. This is tough, but I think Sunderland might win it. Palace are really in bad form. In a bad way at the moment, Palace. Out of the FA Cup. I'm going to go 2-0 Sunderland. 2-0 Sunderland here. That's what I'm going for. Spurs, West Ham. West Ham 18th, still struggling in deep shit. Spurs 14th, not great either. West Ham lost 3, drawn 1, and won 1. Fulham, they lost to Fulham 1-0 at home, drew Brighton 2-2, lost to Wolves 3-0. How embarrassing, the bottom team. Lost to Forest 2-1. They beat QPR, quarter pound of rubbish, 2-1 in the FA Cup. And Spurs, well, not exactly brilliant either. They've only won, drawn 2 and lost 2. Beat Palace 1-0, drew us 0-0. Drew Sunderland 1-1. Lost to Bournemouth 3-2, and then lost to Villa 2-1 in the FA Cup. I think you would probably say Spurs will win. Just basically because West Ham are in deep shit. They can't win for love nor money. So, yeah, they're not doing great. But then again, Spurs don't always do that well at home. I'm actually going to go for a draw here. I'm going 1-1. Going 1-1 for this. Yeah, 1-1 for Spurs and West Ham. And Forest and Arsenal. Well, as we all know, Arsenal are top. Forest are 17th. The 5:30 kickoff. Arsenal's form, look at that, 1-4 and drawn 1. Incredible. Beat Brighton 2-1. Beat Aston Villa 4-1. Beat Bournemouth 3-2. Drew Liverpool 0-0 and then beat Portsmouth 4-1 in the FA Cup. Forest lost to Man City 2-1. So they've lost 3 and drawn 1 and won 1. Yeah, so beat Man City 2-1, beat Everton 2-0. Lost to Man City 2-1, lost to Everton 2-0. Lost to Villa 3-1. Beat West Ham 2-1. And drew Wrexham 3-0 in the FA Cup, which obviously they just still went out on penalties. So, only one winner, surely, Arsenal, you would say. You would say it's just Arsenal's. An Arsenal win, surely. Against the old dice ball. You think Sean Dyche, I can't see him beating Arsenal. Can anyone see him beating Arsenal? No. So that's what happens when I do a Sean Dyche impression. Sorry. always happens when I do that. But anyway, I'm gonna go. It's got to be Arsenal to win, surely. I can't see any other result. I'm going to go 2-0 Arsenal here. 2-0. Terrible impression. Oh, yeah. Fuck off, Horace. You can do a better one. Unless, do you want to come on and do one? Eh? Yeah, you can do a better one, pal. I'll tell you. But yeah. Yeah, Arsenal to win. Yeah, I'm going 2-0 Arsenal. I'll be up to you, Mel. Hope you're well, my friend. Hope you're good. We're doing, obviously, predictions for the Premier matches. If you want to put anything in, hi Melina from Morris. And Melina, yo, Oris. And yeah, so we're doing all the predictions so far. If you want to put anything in, Mel, and obviously Oris has put some in as well. What do you think is going to happen for your game there? I'm going 2-0 Arsenal against Forest. What about Forest, Orist? How about Orist, Forest, eh? Orist. So let's go to... my ears just got hurt from that impression. Yeah. Yeah, okay, mate. Okay, man. No worries. But yeah, you think you can do a better job? You want to come on and do it? Yeah. You want to do an impression? Nah, probably not. When are you doing another fucking stream, Morris? Anyway, because you ain't done anything lately, man. What's going on with you? Are you still hurting about United? Are you fed up with United? Crying about it? Are you? Eh? Yeah, how bad United are. You keep losing, getting rid of managers and losing and going down the league, yeah? Tomorrow. Oh, right, you're back. You're back tomorrow, right? Yeah, I'll come on, bro. I'll come on your stream. Just let me know. Just send me the link or whatever. What time it'll be and whatever. So, right, let's get to Sunday. Only 2 Premier League games Sunday. Wolves and Newcastle. Well, obviously Newcastle are 6th. Wolves 20th. Wolves have kind of picked up a bit lately, but they're still going down on certainly on the way they're going with points wise. And although they've actually, they haven't lost. Like they've only lost once, and that was to Liverpool 2-1. Drew with Man United, Norris. They drew United. Oh dear. 1-1. Yeah, and then they beat West Ham, but who doesn't? Or maybe Man United. I don't know. Everton, they drew with Everton 1-1, and then thrashed Shrewsbury Town 6-1. Spanked them, slapped them up. Newcastle won 3, draw 1, and lost 1. They beat Burnley 3-1, beat Palace 2-0, beat Leeds 4-3, drew Bournemouth 3-all, and she got 3 on penalties. And then they lost to Man City, won the first leg of the Carabao Cup. So 2-0 down there. But I think Newcastle surely should win. surely should win this one. Like teams like United and West Ham that struggle against them. I'm gonna go 3-0 Newcastle. 3-0 Newcastle for this. Yep, 3-0. And Villa and Everton. Last one, R4. Right. Everton 12th, Villa 3rd, of course. So Everton 1-1, drawn 3 and lost 1. Wonder who they lost to, Everton, eh? Who was that? Oh yeah, I think that was actually Brentford they lost to, wasn't it? The Bees, yeah. Yeah. They lost to us. Oh dear. 4-2. Yeah, they drew with Burnley 0-0. Beat Forest 2-0. And then we spanked them 4-2 at the Hill Dickinson Stadium. And then they drew Wolves 1-0 and then drew Sunderland 1-0. See, even they can't beat Wolves either. So, whereas Villa 1-3, draw 1 and lost 1. Of course, they beat Chelsea 2-1, but lost to Arsenal 4-1. Bit of a spanking there. And then they beat Forest 3-1, drew Palace 0-0, and beat Spurs 2-1. For me, I think Villa are on amazing form. It's got to be a Villa win, surely here. Villa to win this. I'm going 3-1 Villa. 3-1. Yeah, 3-1 Villa here. Anyone else want to do them before I go? Any more predictions, guys? Before I go, anyone still in here? Want to give their predictions? I'm going to bounce very soon. If not, I'm going. But as I say, please keep following me on Mr. B for Life 182 and on obviously my channel, Mr. Beehive Football Chat. Keep subbing. As I say, get me up to 150 now, guys. Smashing those likes and everything, Get me up to that magical 150, 250 even. Well, 250, yeah. So, gone well past the 150. But yeah, you can get me up to 250, guys. That'd be great. Yeah, thanks to everyone that's been in the live chat, everyone watching live on playback. I'll just thank the people in the live chat, which are Mel, Jordan, Harry, Rich, Orest, I Am Titanium, which is Bilal, of course. Yeah, mainly all those. Thanks to everyone there, watching there, live on playback. I'm going to bounce. It will probably be another transfer stream tomorrow at some stage, and hopefully we'll be on Orist stream as well. I'll just quickly see if there has been any other transfer news regarding us before I go. Just have a quick look, guys, before I go. Right. Quick look here. If anything's happened before I leave, probably not. Yeah. No, nothing more. So I think I'd bounce, guys, and hopefully we'll see if there's anything more tomorrow. Might get some more news, more updates, but I'll try and obviously do another transfer stream tomorrow anyway, if I can. Obviously, as I say, hopefully I'll be on Ori's stream as well. Hopefully, we'll see. But anyway, it's bye for now, guys. Thanks once again. I'm out of here. Cheers, everyone. Thanks. Bye. Bye, guys.